Mark. Charlie Mark.
All right, so the story of Locked is about a guy named Eddie who's sort of down on his luck. He's from the streets, he does deliveries, and he needs money to fix his van.
Es todo lo que tengo, tío. Es lo del alquiler.
Aquí te faltan 4.75.
Lo sé, puedo tener el resto el viernes. Puedo,
Pues
pero...
vuelve el viernes.
You know, he's been scheming so long, no one's gonna loan it to him. No one's helping him. He's stuck in a position that I think a lot of people find themselves in. He doesn't have the money he needs. And so he resorts to stealing. And so he finally finds a car that is unlocked. And once he's closed the door behind him, he's basically trapped now in a cage on wheels.
¡Ayuda! ¡Ayuda!
Hola. Hola, ¿me oyes? ¿Estás ahí?
¿Qué quieres?
Verás, soy el dueño de este coche. ¿No sabes decir otra cosa en tu defensa? ¿Qué? ¿Ahora me vas a hacer caso?
William has built this car, is played by Anthony Hopkins, and he's had problems with his car getting broken into a lot.
El vehículo que has asaltado me pertenece a mí y sabes que ya estoy harto.
And he's fed up with the crime, he's fed up with the corruption, and so he's on a vigilante mission. And we'll feel his wrath.
El interior está insonorizado. También he cortado la señal del móvil.
The two of them, it's a battle of wits and a game of survival for both of them.
Estoy herido, voy a morir.
Me da igual. Puse el anzuelo y tú picaste. Así de sencillo.
Eddie is like, he's the kind of guy who's just floating through life. I think what's surprising about him is how clever he is, how smart he is. I think when you see him, you think he's sort of a dumbass, someone who isn't really capable of anything.
¿Te crees que soy un inculto? ¿Que como no tengo dinero no sé leer? Sí que leo.
You know, you underestimate him, and I think William underestimates him. Seeing Bill transform, you know, we've seen him transform into a clown, we've seen him transform into a vampire, but we've never seen him in a hoodie and bleached tips.
Pasas de ella, porque me han llamado para decirme que has dejado tirada a tu propia hija. ¿Otra vez con la misma mierda?
Eddie has a family. He has a daughter. And at the start of the film, his priorities are out of whack. He's not there for her in the way that she needs. But he's going to go on a journey of self-discovery and learn about what's really important in life.
Papá,
¿Sí?
te sigo queriendo.
It's a tough line to toe, playing someone who is both a thief, a criminal, but he's lovable. He's so sweet and he's so likable that it comes through in the character. You can't help but root for him.
Quiero irme a casa.
Nunca volveremos a casa, Eddie. Hola, Eddie. Soy William. Estás en mi coche.
¿Por qué te has molestado en curarme? Déjame morir ya.
¿Dejarte morir? Uy, estarás de broma. No. He invertido mucho tiempo y dinero en este proyecto y quiero disfrutarlo.
So William is an enigma. He's this mysterious voice. You know, he has a lot of opinions.
Lo importante para mí es que logres entender el daño que has causado.
I love what Tony has brought to this character. We've seen him be this sort of brilliant mastermind, but we haven't seen him be this sort of unhinged, just angry man. I'd look at Anthony Hopkins on Instagram and I would see this persona that I didn't recognize from his movies. You know, he's so big and he's so bubbly and he's having so much fun. And that sort of inspired a lot of William for me. And so I'm so thankful to both Bill and Tony for showing up and giving me these kind of performances and feeding off of each other in the way that they did.
Eso no es justicia.
Pues para mí sí lo es, campeón.
No cuando el sistema está amañado.
¿Y qué? Siempre ha estado amañado.
Watching these two actors who have played some of the most iconic villains of all time go at each other in the way that they do, it was amazing. So I wanted to take this in places that we really haven't seen before for a movie like this, to really shoot it in a cinematic way, you know? Oftentimes when you're trapped or contained in a little spot, it limits how you can shoot it, but I didn't want to be limited. I wanted it to still feel like a movie, you know? And feel big and take big, ambitious swings with its cinematography without having to surrender to just the scale of the box he's trapped in. We built multiple versions of the car, but the main one that we shot on was on a soundstage. Our production designer worked on Gravity as an art director, and for Gravity, they designed these pods on rails. The whole set could kind of break apart and just slide. I think it was 8 pieces. It broke apart in 8 pieces. And so you could just literally grab a section of the car and slide it away. So that allowed us to do all these crazy, complicated things. I mean, that oneer where we're just going around and around. We had teams of people moving parts of the car out of the way and bringing it back and sliding it back and forth. And I wanted to be able to do things inside the car that no one's ever done before. Some stuff you've never seen before. Part of that was Dan Sasaki at Panavision building us lenses that were super unique. When you're shooting in a contained space, these lenses naturally wouldn't have even been able to be in focus. So all the lenses had to be modified. Typically, I think it's like 3 to 6 feet is the minimum focus distance. So we had lenses where the minimum focus is millimeters or centimeters off the lens. All of those things came together to make something that's really visually unique and constantly exciting, constantly changing. You might be trapped in a car, but you never feel stuck. The stakes are always raising. It's just tension. I wanted everyone to see this movie and just feel tense, worry for Eddie, and be completely invested in him getting out. There's things you can't fake. The quantity of reflections and the way the glass interacts. If a car's moving, how your body shifts, the adrenaline rush in your face, the fear, it's all real. And Bill was on board to do it real. So, I mean, we did as much real as possible. We built a stunt car where we were sliding that car, barreling down alleyways and stuff. We put Bill in the car with a stunt driver and just let him go crazy. I wanted so little digital in this movie that a lot of what you end up seeing in the background is actually printed backdrops. If I had to fake something, I'd rather fake it in a practical, old school Hollywood kind of way and not a digital way. There are visual effects in the movie, but we tried to do as much practical as humanly possible. And I think all those choices we made in the filmmaking process helped make it really feel real. And I loved being able to work with my team. My wife is my costume designer. We creatively inspire each other in such cool ways. And then Mike D, I got to work with Mike D again, Mike Dallatorre, the cinematographer who has shot almost everything I've done. He and I have been through everything together, and we communicate telepathically at this point. So getting to work with my team, Sam Raimi, Pierre, my first AD from Nightbooks, bringing him back, having that dream team assembled was such an amazing thing, and you can see it, you can feel it. It just elevates the whole thing, having a team that works well together, that loves working together, and really one of the best crews I've ever seen. Passionate for this movie. I feel incredibly fortunate, and I think we're all incredibly proud of it. We all made this movie for you, for the film goer, for someone who likes movies, who wants to go to a movie and they want to be entertained. This is for you. When I made this movie, more than any movie ever, I just kept thinking about the audience. I wanted to put you through things. I wanted you to feel a lot of things. I wanted you to root for Eddie. I wanted you to feel William's pain. I wanted you to relate to both of them at times. But mostly, I wanted you to feel incredibly entertained. And I felt a need to tell this story to you. I hope you'll come, sit by the campfire, and let me tell it to you. I don't think you've ever seen a movie like this, and I think you are really going to love it.